Hello, this is a new episode of the Breakdown Podcast. My name is Drew Covington,
I'm Austin Johnson.
and today we have a special guest, Dinari Noland. Um, Dinari is the host of the Youngbouls Podcast, which you can find on YouTube and Spotify, as well as Dinari is a friend of mine, and most importantly to this episode, a 76ers fan, because
Oh,
this is
yeah.
the Bron episode. LeBron James is officially decided to take his talents to Philadelphia and join Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, and Joel Embiid. So before we get into like the Bron of it all, real quick, Denari, please tell us about yourself.
What's up, guys? Name's Dinari. Just graduated from Temple University. I'm majoring in communication studies. About to be at Georgetown in the fall for sports industry management. Yeah, I've known Drew for like a minute. Me and Drew actually also did like the same program for I forgot what the program was, the Boule Scholarship Program and
Yes.
everything like that. So we've been tapped in for a bit. Obviously, I mean, I'm a huge Saints fan. He's a Panthers fan. So during the NFL season and stuff like that, it's a lot of animosity and stuff. We'll get to that though in a few. But yeah, man, really happy to be here. I appreciate you guys for letting me come on and everything like that. Love seeing what you guys are doing over here. I've been checking out some of the podcast episodes and everything. So it's been great. Yeah, just looking forward to today's episode.
Thanks. Now, let's talk about the Bron of it all. First, like, I mean, we're gonna get everyone's reaction here for like, but like, first for you, what was your reaction, and did you cry?
Yes, yes. So it was Friday when the trade happened and everything like that. Obviously, on Twitter, like that whole week, everybody's like, "Oh, Bron's gonna make the decision today. Bron's gonna do this. Bron's gonna do that." So I thought Friday was just gonna be like a normal Friday. Obviously, got up, ate, went to the gym and everything. I come back home and I take a nap. I wake up, I'm getting like all these alerts. I'm like, something major must have happened if I'm getting all these alerts. I haven't even heard from half these people, whatever, right? I check Instagram. I see first thing I see is King James post. I'm like, what's going on? Then I see the Sixers logo and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. And then everybody's like, oh, Bron's going to Philly. First thought I had was I just graduated. Like I'm back home, so I can't even go to the games for real like that. But then I'm like, wait, Bron's on my team now. Like, man, like as a Sixers fan, the fact that LeBron James is suiting up for the team itself is crazy because we've had to go through Tobias Harris, we had to go through Raul Neto minutes, we had to go through Matisse Thybulle, we had to go through Furkan Korkmaz minutes. The list can go on and on. So the fact that we even got Jaylen Brown is crazy for nothing. But the fact that we also have LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time, on the team as well, it's insane, man. It's insane. It's been a high that I never want to get off of for real. It's great. It's great. But yeah.
Yeah, y'all been through some dark times for sure. So I was definitely for Sixers fans. I mean, I'm a Bulls fan, so I knew he wasn't coming here. So I'm happy for y'all. I knew that wasn't gonna be in the cards for me, but it's not a bad city for him to go to be honest. It's not like an insufferable fan base. Like let's say I knew they weren't on the list, but let's say he went to Boston, that would have been way more annoying than him going to Philly. Philly's cool.
Yeah, actually would be.
Yeah, it's and I would argue that Philly fans are still pretty insufferable, but I will say to Austin's point, I dislike Boston fans more. Yeah, I think for me, like I had I saw it on the timeline. I saw the video of the Dreams and Nightmares video, and I called my friend Xavier immediately, who goes to Hampton. Shout out, bro. And I got the pleasure of breaking it to him because he's a 76ers fan.
Mm.
And bro was just like, "Yo, I'm about to cry." I said, "Yeah, you got it, bro. I'm gonna talk to you later." Um, I guess like where I want to start with this is like, what does this look like? And I think that's kind of been my thing for me thinking about this. I think
Mm.
off rip, some people are getting a little bit over their heads, just a little bit. Um, and also I do have faith in a lot of specific aspects of this team. But Dinar, what do you think the 2026 2027 76ers look like?
I mean, obviously, like you have multiple MVPs, multiple All NBA selections, multiple All Stars in your starting five. You have tons of experience. You have people who can have the ability to take over games and really help their team win. And again, you're under the tutelage of the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. But yes, all that is true. But also, LeBron is 42 years old. I mean, I'm a realist, so I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh, Bron, he's gonna be doing like stuff he was doing at 25. But Bron is 42. Bron is not gonna play all 82 games. Same as Embiid, same as possibly Maxey and stuff like that. So for the regular season, I'm not really worried about that for sure. I mean, for real, because that's gonna be what it is. The thing that I'm really excited about and just really want to see how this team looks is for playoffs, man. I mean, playoffs, that's going to be really the test to see whether or not this team can really like come together for a ring. Obviously, the biggest thing for next year with this team is going to be sacrifice. Not everybody on that team is going to average 20. They talked about Bron running the point yesterday and everything like that, I believe, on First Take. So it's like, we're going to see what it's going to be like for him to play making everything like that, which Bron has done before. But for everybody else, how that's going to help. Obviously, VJ Edgecombe as well. He was one of the finalists for Rookie of the Year last year. He was doing his thing last year. Him and Maxey not really being that focal point of that offense anymore because you have a player like Jaylen Brown coming in who's going to take over games like that. Is his development going to continue to improve, or is it going to take a hit because of all this other star power? So it's a lot of questions, but I'm still like optimistic that everything's going to be fine. I feel like everything's going to be fine, but it's just so many questions that you have about this Sixers new starting five and everything like that too. So yeah, hopefully that answered everything.
Now you're cool, bro.
All right. Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you. I think the peak of their success is predicated on when and how healthy Joel can be. Because if he can make it into the playoffs and like at least be 90%, then I think they have a very good chance. Because we saw what he did to Boston last year, but he played, I think, 4 games in that series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then it obviously didn't carry over to the Knicks. Like he used all his gas against Boston. So him being healthy is a main catalyst to the peak of their powers. And I think, and I said this too when Jaylen Brown got traded. I think if this was like 2K, you could turn the injuries off. No question, this team would definitely be the favorite to come out the East. But obviously, this is real life. So we have to see how that works. I think it could it could stunt the growth, especially of VJ to a degree, and like LeBaron Philon, who y'all just drafted first round, he's not really gonna play now. And he's gonna have to find his way and to make that work with everybody. I think that could hurt you guys in the future. But if you guys get a ring or something very, very high out of it, I don't think people will care.
Yeah.
But I think for them, that's going to be hard, especially VJ going from at times the second option or the third option at the worst. Now he's all the way down to number 5. I think that can definitely mess with your head a little bit as an athlete. But I think you're right. LeBron as a facilitator, I have no I have no worries about that. He's one of the few players that lead the league in scoring and assists. So even at this age, his IQ, he's still very sharp and still a great passer. But guys like Jaylen Brown and Embiid who need the ball all the time, I need to see how that meshes well. I think Maxey can play off the ball well because last year and the year before that were kind of the first years where we really saw him be the main ball dominant guy. But even in years before that, he was still getting 20. So I think Maxey off the ball will be cool. But where the other guys fit in, that's where I have to see it first. I think it will work. I just need to see it like how it displays an actual game.
Yeah, I think that's been my main thought process. Like throughout this entire thing is that like I need to watch this team play, and I think this team is going to be a team that I do play. Like I will pay close attention to when it comes to the regular season. Don't get me wrong, I agree with you, Dinari. Like this is like a postseason like or bust team. This is a team that like if if y'all go out how y'all usually do, which is second round, that this is a failure.
Yeah.
Like like just like straight up, this is a failure. Um, so yeah, I think that's where this team is at now. But like, it's interesting. I don't have any like LeBron on this team is not a really concern of mine. Like at this point, LeBron, if they talking about how LeBron will play point, and that makes sense. I think this is a great situation for Bron, in which he won't even have to be the first, second, or third option on this team. He can sit back and be the fourth or fifth on any given night. I think that's actually pretty great for a 42-year-old LeBron. I think LeBron as a facilitator works. I think all of those things make a lot of sense. I think for me, I'm just thinking about like really two things. Okay, so like Embiid and Brown, they need the ball. That's just like they need the ball, and also VJ, will this stunt his growth as a player? And also, yeah, like you brought up a fine line as well, like someone who probably is not getting time like that anymore because like they got Bron. And again, you're right, Austin. Like if they win, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like this is a city that has been hungry, begging for winning. You know what I'm saying? I told Dinari, like I literally told him when they beat the Celtics and they came back down 3-1. That's the best win for the Philadelphia 76ers in like the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
Like it like unironically like it meant for Embiid to come back and dominate and show that like even when he's not even fully healthy, he came back down 3-1. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I've already seen the dialogue about like whose team is this gonna be? Words. So I already find that to be really funny. I think this is the process still. This is Joel Embiid's team. That doesn't mean that he'll be playing all the games in the regular season. Hell, that doesn't even mean he'll probably even be this team's best player as of right now. I only believe that because he's injured. If he was fully healthy, he's obviously this team's best player. But Jaylen Brown, more consistent, more healthy, naturally. And also, I believe in Nick Nurse. I think Nick Nurse is an incredible coach. It is unfortunate that literally if they don't win that Celtics series, he likely gets fired. I'm glad that the new management was like, wait, we're gonna give you more time. We're gonna see what we can do here, and I think that's gonna pay off. I will say, I'm not so quick to say favorites in the East. The Knicks are still there. If the Kawhi trade goes through, the Raptors are there. The Cavs are there. The Heat, which I think we're actually, a lot of people aren't talking about the Heat enough, will be there. We've seen Eric Spoelstra do more with less. But this is easily, on paper, a top 4 team in the sport. The only 3 teams that I can see being better than them right now are the Knicks, Spurs, and the Thunder. Outside of that, this is low key a championship or a bust type of team, which is kind of dangerous because we haven't made it past the second round in X amount of years. But it's really exciting. I guess my next question for everyone is why do you think Bron picked Philly?
I would say he picked Philly because realistically, you look at all the rosters and everything like that. He was just in the Western Conference and everything. I feel like this roster, with Jaylen Brown coming here too, I feel like that was the big needle mover for him to be I want to go to Philly. Which Boston, thank you by the way, because we didn't have to give up anything for that. But I still don't understand why they gave us Jaylen Brown. But I'm not complaining. But yeah, Jaylen Brown coming over here and Embiid's saying that he was 100% heading into the offseason and everything like that, no major issues. I felt like that was the thing that really pushed the needle for him to come to Philly. Obviously, he already has ties to Maxey and everything like that, but yeah, I feel like that was one of the main reasons why he came to the Sixers and everything like that. But yeah, and then also too. Oh, my fault.
No,
Go
you're
ahead,
good.
go
You're
ahead.
good. I will just say you can continue your point. I just want to say, Embiid saying he was 100% going into the offseason, I think that's a lie. I think that's
No,
cap.
it definitely is, man. It definitely is. But also I was gonna say too, to your point, Drew, when you're saying it was like low key a championship or bust season, it's not even a low key thing, man. It's like you have all this talent
Yeah.
around your team and everything like that. Yes, this team has not made it, made it past the second round since I've been of age and everything like that. But it's like, dude, if the Sixers, if in all seriousness, man, if this team with all this talent can still not find a way to get at least to a conference finals in the next 2 years, this is going to be a failure of an experiment. Obviously, it's going to be a failure. But with this season, everything coming up, man, like the pressure's on. Like you have 2 years at best with Bron and everything like that, and if things go well, possibly multiple years with Jaylen Brown and everything like that too, until they ask for an extension. But you gotta like the next season, man. Like it has to work. Like they don't have time to be like, oh, like it's not working. We gotta like, go trade or fire somebody. Like no, you need to get all that ironed out in like the first 2 weeks of the season because this like you said it like this city is like hungry. Like they're restless, man. When you said that the first like the best win in like the past 2 decades was the 3-1, that was cool. That was in the first round of the playoffs. We still got bounced out second round, so it's like, yeah, it's low key like a high key situation for us to win a chip. But yeah,
I agree. I 100% agree. I think one, LeBron's contract is for 2 years. So this is the window right now. And also, like, if you just look at the compilation of talent, like Tyrese is coming off his best season. Jaylen Brown is coming off his best season. And then LeBron, even though he's old, we watched how he still was getting you 26 and 7 at 41 as a third option. And then you add that with what could possibly be with Joel Embiid when he's healthy. That is a championship level, definitely a championship level five. And I think now this might come to bite me, and I think that's my fear with this team is that LeBron on a lot of these teams that he's played with more recently, especially on the Lakers, like with Anthony Davis, his goal was not to be the guy. It was kind of like to defer, and then somebody got hurt. Like, and even with Luka and Austin Reeves, his goal was to be the third option and kind of just fill in where he needed to and just be the facilitator and make his shots when he had to. But of course, AR got hurt, Luka got hurt, Anthony Davis got hurt on multiple occasions. So I don't want to see that happen with the Sixers. And my biggest fear for this like experiment with the Sixers is to have them where we see 2 years down the line and they're like a meme and they're talking about them like the '04 Lakers with Kobe and Karl Malone and all them or the Nets with
Yeah.
Kyrie, Harden, and KD. Like that, this talent is too good to not at least make it. Definitely not to make the conference finals. That's a failure for sure. And then to even get to the finals, I'm not saying they have to win. I would like them to win, but I would say the biggest question out of everything that I have for really this move is: are they better? Can you see them beating the Spurs or OKC? Because definitely wherever LeBron was going to go before, whether that was Minnesota, Golden State, or Cleveland, none of those three teams were you going to actually say like this is a championship team where you could concretely say that they were going to beat either of those two teams. I think Philly, that was his best option to say like we can compete with these teams and the Knicks, of course. Besides that all those other moves, Minnesota, Golden State, and Cleveland, that was just for vibes. Like we just wanted to see him play with those guys. They weren't
exactly.
they weren't winning anything.
Yeah.
Realistic.
Yeah. In terms of like, I guess my thought process around Bron, like coming to Philly, I think obviously on paper, him adding himself to this is like a championship caliber team. They already were. Let's be clear. They already were a championship caliber team. But adding himself, we're talking about a team that can arguably be the favorites in the East. So yeah, I think another thing, I watched the NBA Daily and I forgot who said this yesterday or Friday when it happened, but he said that I think another thing for Bron, and Bron has always been doing this since he's like made decisions, you know what I'm saying? Is narrative wise, Bron helping a historic franchise like Philadelphia get a championship that they've sought for decades. You know what I'm saying? I think that's for LeBron and what he wants to do for his legacy. I think that really enticed him to be like, wait, I can be an important contributing factor to a fan base getting something that they've wanted to get for such a long time. And arguably that's the most compelling narrative out of all of them, you know? You brought it up, Austin. Although a homecoming in Cleveland would have been cool, even if they got Bron, they're likely not winning a championship. They're still not like they're, and the thing is, interestingly enough, they have the depth. It's just, in my opinion, D. Mitch isn't there, and unfortunately, as much as I love Donovan Mitchell, I think we are seeing the best of what Donovan Mitchell can be, and that's not enough. Just to be frank, that's just not enough, especially with LeBron that's trying to take a back seat more and more at the age of 42. That's not going to be enough. And obviously,
That's true.
Oh, what's up?
That's true. I would say more of, even if you think Donovan Mitchell could even go higher than where he is, I just think James Harden and Evan
Yeah.
Mobley as a supporting cast, they don't rise to the occasion enough for me. Like, when it's time, like we saw what happened against the Knicks series, they were hunting James Harden.
Yep.
Evan Mobley's supposed to be Defensive Player of the Year and say, I want that matchup. I can guard everybody. Defensive Player of the Year. And also, just as a scorer, he doesn't give enough production on offense to be either of them. Both of them, Harden shoots inefficient, and Evan Mobley might get you 15, 18, but LeBron would still have to try too hard at that age. So I'm glad he didn't go.
Yeah. I think one thing before we move on to the next thing I want to respond to is does this make them better than the Spurs or the Thunder? I think the concrete answer right now is no. Low key, I think it is, and I do think it is a definitive no, because literally the question marks that we have for the 76ers, we don't have for the Thunder or the Spurs. Period. We've seen how this team works. We've seen their identity as a team. We kind of know what directions they're headed. The only issue in general is smaller things De'Aaron Fox still playing for the Spurs is a pretty large thing in my opinion. But smaller things like J-Dub's health, the rookies that the Thunder drafted, how will they progress, and things like that. But we kind of know that they're at the top of the food chain along with the Knicks. But what I think is beautiful about that is that you don't have to worry about that to the finals. You don't.
Yeah.
All you have to worry about now is the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's be clear. They did get swept by the Knicks.
Yeah.
They did get swept by the Knicks. But, you don't have to worry about... If you're in the... I think Bron leaving and going to the East was a smart decision because him going to the Nuggets or the Timberwolves, that still doesn't make you better. You're still not getting past those two teams. You're just not. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been funny if you went to the Spurs. I can't lie to you. That's ring-chasing OD in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
That would have been crazy.
I don't care. We're supposed to ring chase. What did Shaq say? Your goal is supposed to ring chase.
You're supposed to win rings. Yeah.
The people who say that ring chasing is bad are the people who haven't won a ring. And I stamped that. And I wanted to ask y'all that too. What did y'all think about Charles Barkley saying that? He stacked his team here. He stacked his team in Cleveland. He stacked his team in LA. What y'all think about that?
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, Charles, he doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have a ring. He doesn't understand. Because Bron, you can say that he ring chased whatever, but he still had to go out and win those games. He still had to go out and take over and go through all that in the regular season. And he's saying that he stacked teams, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't saying that when Bron was literally playing with a starting lineup of Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood, J.R. Smith, and Kevin Love, and dragging them to the finals and everything like that when he was arguably the best player on the team. So for me, what Charles said is nothing. It's a nothing burger for me.
Yeah, he's 42, bro. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man.
Like he's 42, bro. Like, and the thing is, like, I hate when people say, like, don't get me wrong, there are some exceptions, right? Like, I think Kevin Durant going to Golden State, yeah, that's OD. You know what I'm saying? You just got eliminated by the team. They have a 73-9 record. Without you, they can win a chip.
They have one, yeah.
And they did win a chip. You know what I'm saying?
That was ridiculous.
That's crazy. But like, what great player doesn't quote unquote need help to win? We even saw Bron, as you just said, Bron with the 2018 Cavs, get to like almost get to the mountaintop and then got swept because again he had no help. A great player can only do so much. Jordan needed Pimpin to win. He needed Dennis Rodman to win. Shaq needed Kobe. Kobe needed one of the most well-rounded teams ever built to go back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's such an obtuse point to make. And it's like, and also he's 42. What are we talking about? And don't get me wrong, it really only happens with Bron because Bron is at that level. He's 42 and he's a top 20 player in the basketball. But we gotta realize, yeah, he's not like this top 10 like franchise player anymore. He's 42. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not. I don't want LeBron James #1 option hoops in 2026. And I've been very apparent. I've wanted Bron to retire for the past 2 years because I just knew, A, man, LA, you should probably retire there, and B, you're not winning anything. But I will say, he's now in a position to win something. That does make, in my opinion, Bron hoops more exciting to watch. And I have a theory. I talked to my siblings and family about this. I don't think this decision by LeBron happens if the Luka trade happens the way it does. I think LeBron, and he literally said it in his tweets that he released after the trade, after he announced that he's going to Philly. He literally said, like, I thought that I played my last minutes against that OKC team. I thought it was over. And
I think that's cap too.
but here's the thing. I do think Bron, when he went here in 2019 or went to LA in 2019, I think he envisioned, this is where I'm going to retire. Like this is it for me. I'm going to go Hollywood. I'm going to be here with my family. We're going to, do X, Y, and Z, and then I'm gonna ride off into the sunset. But I really do think with the way the Luka trade happened and them not consulting Bron, trading one of Bron's favorite teammates in the middle of the night and saying, we're soft launching, but not really. We're hard launching a Lakers organization without you now, as you're here. I think that did kind of do damage between Bron and like the Lakers front office and that relationship as a whole. So, yeah, man.
That's a good point. I think because it's LeBron, so they couldn't do it, but the Lakers' best interest was the last couple of years to trade him, but you're not going to do that. But you had to just see what it looked like with him and Luka. I mean, when they weren't hurt, like that last month before Luka popped his hamstring,
the third seed.
Yeah.
That was great hoops, bro. And I think they still would have lost, but I think that series against the Spurs, because who would they have played? Who was the 6th seed? Was it Minnesota? I think they would have beat Minnesota.
Yeah, they would have beat Minnesota. I think so.
So I think, especially with the injuries that they had in that series as well, which says a lot about Denver, by the way. But I think they would have beat Minnesota, and then it would have been an entertaining series against the Spurs. I don't think it would have been just a sweep like it was against OKC. Probably Spurs in 6, but 5 maybe, but it still would have been fun. Hey, the Timberwolves took them to 6, bro. So
hey, Wemby killed Naz Reid, and he wasn't allowed to play that game. They probably win that game if Wemby still plays. Side note, it's really funny because if you look at the stats in that game, Anthony Edwards went crazy. Like everyone knows, like Anthony Edwards went crazy. I want you guys to look at how much of that like was in the paint when Wemby's not there.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But we watched game one. Game one, he was hooping.
Hey, he was hooping, bro. He was hooping.
Also, too,
But
I don't know what it is, but the Wolves always like in the playoffs, like they're a totally different team than what they look like in the regular season. Like in the regular
Yeah,
season, they'll lose games and stuff, and I'm like, I guess like this is the team I'm supposed to be worried about. Come playoff time, they just flip a switch, and then
yeah.
you have like players like Ayo Dosunmu like out here just like hooping and getting like 30, 40 a night. I'm like, what's going on? Like so,
fighting a Illini legend.
yeah, seriously. So it's like I don't like it's not an easy out. Like I knew that the whole LA experiment was pretty much done. Ironically enough, was with Rudy Gobert when he had that takeover game in LA and they lost that game. That's when I knew I was like, I don't think he's winning there anymore, man. I don't. I mean, also
That's
too,
right.
yeah, touching on what you guys are just saying about like the Lakers and their best interests and everything like that. You look at the past couple of seasons with Bron in LA and everything. The front office has been absolutely god awful for them. Like the front
Yeah.
office has literally made little to no moves to truly help Bron and Luca like get a championship now. Like the moves that they made last summer, for example. Pretty sure they signed Jake LaRavia, and then they signed Aiton, and they just said, "That's it, we're good. We can compete with the team that we got."
And
And
Marcus Smart.
at the start of the season, we were like, okay, like it was working, so it was cool. But then Aiton showed his true colors and everything, and LaRavia turned into a liability at the corner three in defensive position, and it's like we're in the same spot that we were in, just like we were in previous seasons. So I mean, as somebody who saw Bron in LA and everything like that, as somebody who, saw the moves that Palenka was doing, and then now, after Bron leaves, you want to go out and just use your checkbook and make moves and stuff like that. I know for a fact that probably made Bron feel some type of way.
Yeah.
It
For
definitely did
sure.
because it's like you want to like go out now and go get this team for Luke and everything like that. But when me and AD were asking for a competent center, you guys gave us like bottom of the barrel D Aiton. Like, come on, like what are we doing? So
Facts.
yeah,
Hey, but shout out to Rui Hachimura, bro. He did hoop in the playoff. He
Yeah,
shot
he
over
did. He did.
50% from three.
he
He
did.
was the only competent role player in both series, really.
Bro, I was really pushing. I was like the Spurs should go and get him. They got Tobias Harris, so they don't need him. And Tobias Harris was a great get by the Spurs. But like I was like, wait, that's something right there. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
Rui's cheaper. You could
yes,
have
and
they
Royce
could
cheaper. Yeah, bro. And he's younger. Like again,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, this is something here. Um, I
that
think
wasn't a bad idea. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey man, I know ball sometimes. I know ball sometimes. Nah, I think the natural segue is like what happens to the teams that missed out on Bron. I mean, like we saw today, the Golden State Warriors re-signed Draymond Green. Obviously, the Heat had that whole fiasco last week with
Yeah.
them putting up a live stream of them getting Brown and then taking him down because it's like, oh, we are not actually getting Brown. The Timberwolves needed a power forward. They don't have one. Io DeSumo, who like what is like 6'5", 6'2",
Maybe.
maybe six
Maybe.
five is gonna have to be playing small forward minutes. Um, like what else? The Cavs, obviously, a lot of Cavs fans are genuinely upset. Like their hearts are broken. Um,
They'll be all right. He brought y'all a chip.
yeah, that's another thing. I was like, yo, like y'all,
Mm,
they talking about it's Donovan Mitchell's city now. What are we talking about? What are you
yeah.
saying? What are we
Brought y'all
saying?
to 5 chips, bro. Do that first.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, am I missing any other team?
Nah, it was Golden State, Minnesota, yeah, the Heat and the Cavs.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think the Warriors are just gonna be a little sad, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Dude, Steph needs to trade, man. It's actually getting like mad for me. Like I'm angry about it because I'm like Steph, loyalty, like loyalty is a great thing, and everything like that. There's not much of that anymore in the league. But my gosh, man, like please, like get out of there because even looking at the starting five for next season, I'm not excited for this season of Warriors basketball at all. I mean,
nah, they're gonna be sad, bro.
yeah, it's bad, man. It's actually
Who is
bad.
it? Starting five, would it be it'd be Steph, Jimmy, is if Jimmy is healthy when the season starts. They re-signed Porzingis, right?
Yeah, the resign.
Yep.
Yeah, Porzingis got the extension. Yeah,
Draymond and
Pods?
Yaks.
odds.
Yaks over Pods. I'm starting Yaks over Pods. I'm not gonna.
Pods?
Either way, even if you don't start Pods, you got Pods as your sixth man coming off the bench. That's nah, man. I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah, the whole like I do feel bad for Curry because at least like they're not winning no chip. But Bron and Curry, bro, that's vibes. That's cool. It's a cool moment. Two of the best players of a generation, the two best players of a generation, linking up and being like, oh yeah, we're gonna ride off in the sunset together. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. It would have been cool. No chip is in one there. But like I do agree with you. I kind of feel bad for Curry, especially considering that, in my opinion, out of like the big three of Curry, KD, and Bron, I think Curry is the best still playing. I think
Yeah,
Curry is
that's
playing
not
the best
crazy.
basketball,
For
and
sure.
for him to seemingly live and die in Golden State is like really sad because they're not gonna be playing competitive basketball. Like a lot of people were talking about how he should go to the Spurs. I don't think that's a great idea because the Spurs are young and they have a lot of great young talent. You probably have to give that away. I'm not giving away Dylan Harper. I'm not. I'm not giving away
Absolutely
Stephon
not.
Castle. That's just not happening.
And I just looked up Curry's contract. I feel less bad for him now that I look at it. He's gonna get 62 mil this year
Oh
for
yeah, you're fine.
1 year. If they're trash and he gets like 28 a game, 60 million as like a consolation is not bad at all. I
Right.
will say though, this hefty contract, I don't think it will happen. But the Spurs, well, yeah, no, because Dylan Harper's there. So either way, it wouldn't work. But somebody is still, I bet they're still trying to trade De'Aaron Fox somehow too.
For
I
sure.
will say, low key, a team that I think there are two teams in the East that I think would like to have that would if Curry went there, it'd solve a decent amount of problems. If he went to the Celtics, that'd be pretty great.
I'll be scared.
If you went to the Celtics, that'd be pretty great. They need an actual guard. Derek White is
Yeah.
not doing it for us in Big 2026. We're not going for that. Giving Tatum a genuine second option that can be a first option on any given night. That moves the needle, as well as the Heat. They need a guard. They need shooting. And why not get the greatest shooter of all time, partner him with obviously a bona fide top five player, maybe in conversation for the best player of this decade. Um, yeah, that would be fantastic. So like, I really do feel bad for Curry on some level. Yes, $60 million a year is terrific to play bad basketball. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, last team though, on the low, that would also be good. The Pistons.
yeah,
I didn't even think of it. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah.
a good
Because
spot for him.
Cade is still the facilitator. You have Steph just running around. Cade is gonna find him, and then they need a second scorer as well. Realistically, would this happen? Probably
Nah.
not. But that would be fire. Him or Book, Steph or Book in Detroit would be great vibes. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Amen, amen.
But they both make too much freaking money for that.
True. I'm pro Laurie marketing to Detroit, low key. Um, that's how I feel. But yeah, man. The other teams though, Cavs, you're stuck with James Harden.
Sad.
Womp womp. You're stuck with James Harden. It's crazy because like honestly, the Cavs have the depth. They're
They
like
do.
they are a good team. It's just like the whole like analytically like shit was like hilarious. Like we analytically won the game. Like it like low key an unserious organization post Bron. But like they are a good team. They have depth. They have guys and it's literally just the fact that Donovan Mitchell was kind of hit his ceiling as a player. And unfortunately James Harden is on the team. It's really like that's and obviously having Braun would help alleviate that. Being like, okay, cool. James Harden, we don't need you to play make anymore. We have LeBron, you know what I'm saying? But damn, like it really is tough for them, you know, and it's tough because Braun was in a tweet. Oh yeah, and Cleveland will always be home at the end of the shit, bro. If I
Yeah.
was a Cavs fan, I'd be pissed too. I can't even lie to you, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, even when the choices for like the teams that are like the finalists came out, I was like, there's no way that he's gonna choose to go to Cleveland over Miami or Philly.
Yeah.
Like, if we would have lost Bron to Miami, I would have lived with that. If we would have lost him to Golden State, cool. I would have lived. If he would have went back to Cleveland, I would have been high, because I'm like, unless you're going there to retire, if you're trying to win a championship, you're not going to Cleveland, man. Like, the team that they have constructed, like you said, they have depth and everything like that. But the question is like, what is Harden going to do? Like, obviously, every team that James Harden has gone on, host Rockets, he's tried to go there with the idea of winning a championship. And when the team needs him to perform at the best level, he doesn't perform at that level. And he, in the playoffs, he gets exposed every single time. And as someone who saw James Harden literally live in the playoffs on Game 7, after blowing a Game 6 lead, to Boston, in Game 7 putting up 9 points, nah, I'm good. I'm so happy he's gone, man. And then
That's gotta be a traumatic loss too.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea, man. That was actually a rough 2 hours of hoops. But and then last year watching James Harden, against the Knicks in the conference finals and everything like that, and his playoff performance, it's just like you know what to expect at this point. I'm pretty sure Bron, I don't think he didn't say it outright, but I'm 90% sure that when he was looking at the teams, he was like, okay, this team is constructed well, but I know how he plays in the playoffs. I know how he gets in the playoffs and stuff like that. That's going to be a factor. Because if Bron, like you said, Bron's 42. Like, Bron, he can take over games if he wants to, but Bron probably doesn't want to have all that responsibility, especially going into your 25th season of play. Like, no, man. And then with that just leaves you with Donovan Mitchell. And once he gets figured out, it's just Bron. So it's like, nah, it's Cleveland. I'm so happy he didn't go back to Cleveland. I'm so happy.
Me too. And I just want to get your prediction for the season. This can be our last part of the Bron segment. Gotcha. What is your prediction for the year as a Sixers fan? A realistic prediction.
Realistic prediction. Okay. Our floor, I would say, is making the conference finals. That's our floor. Our ceiling, I would say, is winning the chip. If we make the conference finals and say we lose to 7 to New York, I won't be as mad. But if we get swept or something like that, I'll be very disappointed. But if we lose in 7 to the Knicks, I can live with that. We'll just run it back next year, whatever. Cool. But our ceiling is definitely us winning the championship. It's either conference finals or we win the chip. It's one of the two options. Honestly, our floor should honestly just be us making the finals. But that's brash. That's brash. So realistically, our floor is making the conference finals. That's what I would say.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not mad that you said that. I just hope y'all pull it through, bruh. I need Embiid has not played over 40 games in 3 years. We need to see that happen.
Honestly,
Jeez.
man, if I'm the Sixers, front office and everything, having B come out opening night, whatever, have him play with Bron and everything like that. But after that, just be like, yo, we're just going to shut you down for the rest of the season. Just rest. We'll see you in the playoffs, man. We'll see you in the playoffs. We got it. And
they better load Madden the hell out of him, bro.
As they should, though. As they
should.
I think, optimistically, their outlook, I think, is a finals appearance. I do not think this gets done in 1 year. Like, just straight up, I don't think this is a lot of new players, a lot of new, guys, important guys that'll be on this team. I don't think that this is done overnight. We still have to, I have to see how this team plays. So, optimistically, I'd say they make it to the finals. I don't know if they win it, but they definitely make it there. They make their first finals appearance in I don't know how many years.
01. Yeah, since 01.
Yeah, since 01. So, yeah. And I do think that's a cause for celebration. You know what I'm saying? I think that's literally same thing with New York this year. The fact that they made the finals was celebration enough. You know what I'm saying? However, pessimistically, A second round exit. I do see a reality where like people get injured and they play like the Knicks or the Heat and they're like, oh yeah, like you guys just don't have enough. So, and I'd honestly be terrified what this city of Philly does.
I'm sad I'm not living in that anymore. Oh my gosh.
Just another second round exit. I think actually it would be pretty terrible. But yeah, I think second round, pessimistically, second round exit. Optimistically, you're making the finals.
Yeah. I like that.
I agree with that too. I mean, realistically, as if they just get a decent backup center,
Yeah.
I think they really have everything. I mean, off the bench, you still have Phylon, you have KCP, Anthony Simons. Like you have shooting. They got Dean Wade. Like that's a good nine. That's a good 9-man lineup. The only team that you could argue has a better 9 is probably OKC, but they also made some trades. But I feel like everybody in OKC can just go in and give you 20. So I just have to see that first. But yeah, I agree. I think the ceiling is a championship. The floor should be a conference finals. We can't have Joel Embiid like Dak Prescott anymore, bro.
No,
Make a conference finals, bro.
No, please.
Dak Prescott's a gamer though.
He is. So is Joel.
Yeah,
Neither of them have made a conference finals.
League
It's a
MVP.
very like accurate comparison.
Yeah. That's the Bron of it all.